You really don't need this, but man, are you gonna want it. A warm restaurant-style cookie dough skillet made with pre-made dough. I just bought this in one of those logs that they sell at the grocery store. Baked it in the oven till the center was just firm. A little ooey gooey is good. Then I added some ice cream, some Hershey syrup, use caramel, peanut butter, whatever you want, and that is it. So freaking good.
It's over, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it over? It's over, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it over? You won, and she chose you, and she loved you, and she's gone. It's over, isn't it? Why can't I move on?
Summer dessert hack.
Boomerang.
So here you already have your whipped cream and your shortcake. Put your sweetened strawberries on there. Oh, best strawberry shortcake you'll ever have. Oh yeah.
It's just a choice.
It's clear that nearly every country has its own version of this dessert, and we can't wait to try them all. This one comes from Down Under and is known as hedgehog slice. Start by breaking up your biscuits. You can use any mild, crunchy vanilla-flavored biscuit for this. Next, add chopped walnuts or any other kind of nut and desiccated coconut. Set that aside and add about 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter to a pot, followed by 1 can of sweetened condensed milk. To make it chocolatey, add about 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder as well as dark chocolate chips. Turn the heat to medium and stir until the chocolate has melted and everything is well combined. This will take a couple minutes of stirring. Pour the chocolate mixture over the biscuits and stir until everything is coated. You can now transfer to a greased and lined square baking dish and use a spatula to spread it out and press flat. This now needs to chill in the fridge for about 30 minutes until set. Once the dessert is nearly set, melt semi-sweet chocolate in the microwave in 15 to 30 second intervals. Once mostly melted, pour in 2 teaspoons of coconut oil and stir to combine. Pour the chocolate topping over the chilled hedgehog slice, then use a spatula to spread it out evenly. Finally, return to the fridge for 1 to 2 hours, then slice into squares and enjoy. Which country's version should we try next? Tiramisu is by far one of my favorite desserts, but something about making it at home always seemed too daunting, until now. The first step is to brew about 350 milliliters of strong coffee or espresso, then transfer to a bowl to cool completely. Once the coffee is nearly cooled, whisk together 2 egg yolks with 1 tablespoon of sugar. Authentic tiramisu uses raw eggs. If you're concerned about possible bacteria in the eggs, follow our tutorial on how to pasteurize eggs at home. You want to mix this until the color lightens and it becomes smooth and creamy. Next, add half a 250 gram tub of mascarpone cheese and use a spatula to mix until the cheese is fully incorporated into the egg mixture. Set that aside and repeat with the egg whites. These need to be whipped until stiff peaks form, which can take a while if mixing by hand, so I hope you have strong arms. This time when adding the mascarpone, be very gentle. You want to fold the cheese into the egg so the mixture doesn't lose too much air. By now, your coffee should be completely cooled, and when I say completely, I mean completely. If the coffee is hot or warm, it will break down the Savoiardi biscuits when dipped in. Only dip the biscuits for about 2 seconds and no more than 3, then place them sugar side down into a medium-sized glass dish. Ideally, yours would be rectangular so 2 rows of full biscuits can fit, but if using a square dish like us, simply cut the biscuits so they fit snugly. Top with the egg yolk cream, then gently spread out evenly with a spatula. Next, dust the top with an even layer of good quality cocoa powder, then you can optionally sprinkle on shaved chocolate of your choosing. I recommend dark chocolate. Add another layer of coffee-soaked biscuits, making sure they fit very snugly, then pour on the egg white cream, and again spread it out evenly. Dust the top with more shaved chocolate and cocoa powder, then chill in the fridge for between 12 and 24 hours. I'd recommend 24 hours for the best results. Once it's chilled, you can slice into pieces, or if you're impatient like us, just scoop out a portion and enjoy.
Do you remember that time on Great British Bake Off where the bakers had to make brownies and they all screwed them up because they overcomplicated things? These aren't those. Start by melting your butter and your sugar on the stove and cooking it until it bubbles like this. Then crack 2 eggs in a bowl, preferably without the shells. And then you're going to temper some of your hot sugar mixture into your eggs and add them back to the pot. And then you'll add your cocoa powder, your salt, your baking powder, a espresso powder, vanilla, and stir that all together. And then you'll add your flour and stir until just combined. This is actually all the flour I had at the time. Pour into a greased 8x8 pan and top how you like. I had some leftover ganaches in the fridge, so I used them up with these. And of course I topped it with some flaky salt. And then you'll bake at 350 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes. And look at how thick and fudgy these brownies are.
We get in the stick and we be digging them long. I let 'em.
Feels better than this. Nothing feels better. Nothing feels better.
Hey y'all, let me tell you guys about this super easy and simple keto, low carb friendly dessert. It's the easiest dessert that you could possibly make, and you can do so many different things with it. It's basically dessert nachos. So you're going to take a low carb tortilla of your choice, cut that up into triangles, put about 1/4 cup or maybe a little less of melted butter on top of there, sprinkle with cinnamon and your sweetener of choice. I use monk fruit. Tell me your favorite low carb sweetener in the comments. And then cook in your air fryer for maybe 7 minutes or until golden brown or crispy. And then I like to take a little bit of sugar-free Cool Whip, top with some Chalk Zero chocolate syrup. They have this in chocolate or caramel, and then dip and enjoy. Like and follow for more.
Mango cheesecake cups. It's been a hot minute since I've shared a dessert on here, so let's go. 1 cup of heavy cream. We're gonna whip that until it's got stiff peaks and it's a thick consistency. When that's done, just set it aside for now. To a separate bowl, add 1/2 cup of sugar, 8 ounces of softened cream cheese, and beat until it's combined and nice and creamy. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1.5 cups of mango puree. I just peeled some mangoes, blended it up, easy as that. Mix this all together, look at that beautiful color. Now we're gonna add that whipped cream and gently fold it until it's all combined. That's gonna make this really nice and light and airy. I would have added some graham cracker to the bottom of my cup, but my son ate them all, so here we are. I like to use a piping bag to nicely pipe this into my cups. Then you wanna stick these in the refrigerator for about 4 hours or overnight to set. Before I serve, I like to top with a little fresh chopped mango and some mint I pulled from my garden. And that is how you make
L'espoir est un plat bien trop vite consommé. À sauter les repas, je suis habituée. Un rouleur solitaire.
To speak, pussy you sour. Never giving credit where it's due, cause you don't like pussy and power. Venom.
My kids will never ever know there is zucchini in this chocolate cake. It's so damn good. You won't know either. I got the recipe from Love and Lemon's blog. I used oat milk instead of almond milk, and when I had all the wet ingredients mixed with the zucchini, I put it in the blender because I knew my kids would freak out if they had chunks of zucchini, and it made all the difference.
You've got to try this spiced dark chocolate banana cake. First, sift all-purpose flour, cocoa powder, baking soda, salt, cinnamon, ginger, cloves, nutmeg, cardamom, and allspice into a large bowl. If you don't have all these spices at home, don't worry, you can leave a few out, but I definitely recommend adding cinnamon at least. Once combined, set that aside, and in a separate bowl, mash 5 ripe bananas. Add melted butter and brown sugar to the bananas, then mix until combined. Next, whisk in 1 beaten egg, followed by about 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. Now all that's left to do is combine the dry ingredients with the wet and pour in 1 cup of chocolate chips. Once just combined, transfer to a greased and lined loaf pan, then bake in a preheated 350-degree oven for 1 hour and 5 minutes. After it's cooled, prepare a ganache topping by gradually heating heavy cream and dark chocolate chips in the microwave in 10 to 15 second intervals until melted. Pour the ganache over the cake, then allow to set and serve.
Hey peppermint lovers, this one's for you. Mix chocolate, kofa, rice bubbles, icing sugar, aerobath and press into a pan. Process everything here on the screen and pour over the base. Top with more aerobath and refrigerate until set.